Archbishop Gudziak, thank you for joining us. We are more than 100 days into this war. Millions of Ukrainians have been displaced, and thousands of civilians and soldiers have been killed. Now, you visited the western part of the country in May, visiting wounded soldiers and refugees. What is the spirit like among them more than 100 days into this conflict?
Well, you know, war is not romantic, and the fact that there's probably close to 100,000 people that have been killed, including the Russian soldiers. There's also 5 times as many people that have been injured. And all the refugees, 12 million people uprooted. You know, there's no romanticizing it. But what is the fundamental observation that I left with is the fact that people are not despondent. They're not giving up. They're saying we have no choice. We have to continue. And we have to make sure that God's truth wins.
Update us on the humanitarian relief efforts there. And is there enough being done to support victims and their families?
So what has been done up till now has been stupendous. The almost 7 million people that left the country are in different places now. 3.8 million went to Poland, and now 2 million are there. Some have actually come back because wives and children want to be closer to their husbands and fathers. Men between 18 and 60 cannot leave the country because of martial law. And in fact, so many of them are volunteering to defend their families, their towns, their country. The humanitarian effort of most of the European countries has been phenomenal. What people don't realize is that there's 12 million people in Ukraine who are still at home, but who cannot survive without humanitarian aid because at least 40% of the economy has been knocked out. And the whole logistics and delivery system is not normal. So getting food, medicine, other kinds of daily supplies to people is of the essence. And I estimate that the American Catholic Churches, American Catholics through the church, have donated about $100 million from humanitarian aid. That has been very good for now, but the issue is, will it continue? Because the crisis is not getting easier.
Right.
The war and battle right now is its harshest.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You are with U.S. Catholic bishops in San Diego right now for their annual meeting. What is your message to those bishops? And like you said, U.S. Catholics, what is your message to the church and to Catholics? How can they help Ukrainians in need?
Well, the first thing I say to the bishops, and I say to all the viewers, thank you. Thank you for your open hearts, for your support. There's 3 things that people have been doing and they should continue to do. The first is to pray. The Soviet Union fell apart without a war. It was armed to its teeth with nuclear weapons, and all of a sudden, because of moral principle, because of prayer, because of the witness of the martyrs, the system fell apart. 15 countries became independent, falling out of that prison of nations. An evil empire, as Reagan properly called it. The second thing is to be informed. It's very important to have proper information on what is going on. It's not NATO's threats that led to this invasion. Ukraine, which had given up a nuclear arsenal, which reduced its army from 900,000 to 150,000 with only 10,000 battle-ready troops. Ukraine was not a threat to Russia. Ukraine's democracy, civil society, free press, this is the germ that Russians were afraid, Putin was afraid might come into Russia. It's also important to understand that it's not just Putin. 700 university presidents signed a petition, a statement supporting the war. No Russian Orthodox bishop has clearly stepped out against the war. And only about 1% of the clergy out of 25,293 signed a document against the war. So Russian society, generally speaking, is supporting this war. And this needs to be understood. And then the third thing, besides prayer and information and advocacy, the third thing is the humanitarian help. Please continue. because it's needed.